Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I've realised that I never have done a proper intro to any of these videos, so I thought I would just introduce myself a little bit in case you are new here. My name is Emma. I'm a content creator from Dublin and I have been creating content of some form online for the past almost 15 years now. I started off blogging and then that developed into doing Instagram and TikTok and now YouTube. I have been an avid YouTube video watcher for the past, I guess, 15, 16, 17 probably years now. And it's always something that I've wanted to do. I did actually start a YouTube channel in 2011. So a long time ago, and I made 4 or 5 videos, but it just wasn't really for me back then. I just didn't find it to be natural in front of a camera, but I just feel more at ease now, I guess, within myself, and it's just something that I really want to do, is just play with makeup and talk about makeup on camera. So welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you have watched one of my previous videos. Today I'm going to do something that I did during the week twice. I actually filmed a short form video during the week and I did this look another day as well because I really liked it, but I did my nails the other night. So it is a kind of, I'm going to show you the nail polishes. So I used a shade that I actually haven't used in a while, which is OPI Taupeless Beach, which is a taupe shade. And then on top of that, I did a shade from Catrice, which is one of their Prisma Illusion Effect top coats. So you can kind of see it's like a kind of got a blue shift to it, but it's like a sheer shade. And this is the shade 040 Galactic Dust. But I loved the two together. I just thought it was such a nice combination. And I thought it would make a really nice eyeshadow colour, because it's that kind of, you know, minky taupey base and then the like blue shift shimmer on top. And after I painted my nails, I was so preoccupied with the idea of recreating this look on my eyes the following day, so that's what I did. I wanted to talk through the process of creating this look and what I love about it, because this is now going to be my 3rd time doing it and I just loved it. And my mom actually came in during the week, the first day that I did this look, and she loved it as well. And it's just not something I would have thought to do, but I just loved how my nails looked and I thought that would just be so nice on my eyes. And I was like, I bet I can recreate that on my eyes using the makeup products that I have. So that's what I'm going to do. I already have my base on. I have the Trini London BFF Skin Perfector, which I have been loving. Like, it's such a nice moisturizer, primer, SPF, like all-in-one product. I've just been really enjoying how my skin looks using that. I also used the It Cosmetics CC cream. This is the shade Fair, and this is, as you can see, nearly done. I've been trying to get through it, and that's why I have been using it this week. I just kind of want to, like, it's nearly gone and I'm like, I really want to just finish this because I haven't finished the foundation in so long, so I really just want to finish that one. And then I did my usual, like, kind of slightly defining my face with some of my K Beauty products. I needed like a little bit of colour correction on some of my red marks and blemishes. I also have primer on, so I'm going to begin by using the Unleashia palette. You've probably seen me use this before if you've watched one of my previous videos. I'm going to start with the shade Soft Lavender, which is this kind of like pink, pale pink shade. I just find it's a really nice shade for like all over my eyelids. So I'm going to start by kind of just dusting that across my eyelids, just for, I guess, some kind of a base. This isn't something that I always do, but because I am gonna use a matte eyeshadow, I do like to have like some kind of base, because I find sometimes with matte eyeshadows they can like stick to my primer, and it's pale enough that it's not going to be really noticeable, but it's just something to kind of blend the matte eyeshadow on top of. I'm going to start with the Refer 28 brush, which is kind of this flat brush, and I'm going to just apply it with that and then blend it out. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Wild West palette, and I'm going to use this shade and then just blend it out so that I'm creating like a gradient. I could probably just go in with the satin eyeshadow that I'm going to use on top of this, but I just kind of liked the gradient of this eyeshadow. And I'm going to bring it kind of up to the center of my eyelid. So it's just funny where inspiration comes from, because I never would have thought of combining these shades, but because I liked so much how it looked on my nails, I was like, that would make such a beautiful eyeshadow shade. And I mean, anything with a bit of shimmer is fine by me, but I really have been enjoying wearing those like taupey, minky, cool tone shades more so than I usually do at this time of year, but I just really love how they look. And I did a look maybe a few weeks ago that was a recreation of a look by a makeup artist that I follow called Anna Takahashi, and she did this look for, I think it was a year ago, for some runway show that she did a look for, and I have a short posted on that look. But it was kind of that like almost like a taupe shade, like a matte, with this black waterline and then a kind of really sparkly shimmer on top. I loved doing that look. It was so nice. This is kind of like a slightly different, more daytime version of that look, if that means anything. I'm just going to use a Rebel Luna or 29 to kind of blend those. I might take some more of the Unleashia shade and just blend that out a little bit more, because I want this to be very like seamless. I always find it interesting to see where people get their ideas from. It's such a nice combination, the taupe matte shade with the shimmer on top. I just really loved how it looked. I'm going to leave that like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to do another shade on top, a satin shade. Prada Dimensions palette in the shade 02 Profusion. It's really nice. You can see there's like a really bright silver and then this kind of taupe shade and then the yellow and a black here. I particularly love that taupe. It's so nice just on its own. So I'm going to take that with the other side of my brush and just apply that from my lash line up and then kind of blend it out. But this kind of will make the eyeshadow a little bit more taupe. So you can see it kind of looks a little bit more taupe, and I think it helps have that shade underneath. That's just a lovely eye look on its own, like just with some mascara or maybe like a little bit of liner. But I really like that on its own. I'm kind of slightly, I'm not really winging it out as such, but I'm not doing like a rounded shape. It's kind of just going out straight, almost following like my lash line that way. So that's the eyeshadow on its own. This probably seems more complicated than it is. It's actually quite a simple eyeshadow look. Now is the fun part, which is the shimmer, and I'm using one of my favorite. Oh, did I hit pan on that? I did. Oh my god. So it's this shade here, which is Blushing Lizard from Half Magic, and you can kind of see my nail beside it there and how it's like a similar blue shift. Blushing Lizard has a little bit more pink in it, but I'm just going to use it on my finger As you can see, it is well loved, like on its own. Kind of like pinky, but then the glitter is like a blue. So I'm going to put that all over, kind of concentrating it closer to my lash line and then like blending it upwards. But I'm going to just come in a little bit closer so you can see how this looks. But I mean, you can see from the fact that I have a pan on that eyeshadow how much I love it and how much I've worn it. And I think I only bought it in January. Now granted, there isn't a huge amount of product in those pans, and they are that kind of like squishy formula, almost like a cream powder hybrid. I mean, you can see how that, if there was like a light on that, it would just be unbelievable. But I'm going to take my same blending brush. This is the Zoeva Luxe Crease. I don't think they make this anymore. I think they've like redone all of their brushes. I'm just going to blend the edges because I don't want to lose the concentration of that shimmer. So I'm just blending the edges a little bit. And I will do the other eye and then come back and finish my eyes. I just love this combination. I mean, hopefully you can see with my nail beside it that it is like quite a close match for the combination of on my nails. I mean, I would love to know, is there like an eyeshadow that is literally this like actual combination? That's it. It's really very simple. Like that's literally it. I'm going to line my upper waterline just a little bit with a grey. This is kind of like a shimmery grey, but it's the YSL Crushliner, and this is shade number 5. It's a grey essentially, but I just want to make my lash line look a little bit thicker, so I'm just going to kind of wiggle in between my eyelashes just to make my lash line look a bit thicker. And this is also a waterproof formula, so I just find like my eyes are so watery. Only like a kind of a gel, like a waterproof, proper waterproof pencil that sets will last. And to be honest, even they don't last very long because I just have such watery eyes. But you can kind of see the difference when you line your waterline and kind of go in between your lashes. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye, that just looks a little bit more defined. Just did my other eye, so you can kind of see that my lash line is a little bit more defined than it was. It just kind of goes in between all your eyelashes because I do find that my lash line can look a little bit sparse sometimes when I just have mascara on. I'm going to curl my lashes and then do a little bit of liner on the upper outer corner. I'm going to curl my lashes. So that's the Refi Lash Curler in the size 18 or, because they have 2 different sizes. I'm going to use Lisa Eldridge Cinder Smoke, which is one of my most used pencil liners. It's just a really nice kind of a soft charcoal, which to me is just, I'm going to try and do this way, a nice alternative to black. And I'm just doing, if I look ahead, I just want my lash line to kind of look a little bit extended at the edge. Very minimal amount of liner, and I'm just going to blend it using my Kiko My Mini Smudge, which is this little tiny pencil liner or pencil brush, and just very softly smudge that. These liners do set, but you do have a little bit of time to blend them out as well, which is great. See the way I kind of have like elongated my lash line a little bit? So it's not a wing, it's kind of just extending my lash line, so that when I turn that way, it's almost like a shadow there compared to here. It's just a nice little bit of definition on my lash line, and I'm going to do the other eye and then come back. So I already used a waterproof liner. I'm going to use a waterproof mascara as well. This is the BBIA Never Die mascara, and I used this a couple of videos ago when I did the look with their Moomin collaboration. This is the mascara in that collection, but it's like a really nice wand. So I'm going to apply that, and I'm just going to kind of rest that at the base of my lashes, wiggle it in between my lashes and bring it up so that it's depositing the majority of the formula on the brush. It's depositing that right at the root of my lashes, and so it should kind of give more of a tapered effect, and then should kind of avoid clumping or like my eyelashes looking very kind of top heavy, which I want to avoid. Oh, that's such a nice mascara. It does dry quickly, so you can't really get a second coat unless you kind of do it straight away. And curling your lashes really helps with this because the waterproof formula helps to hold the curl up. So it's just such a nice way of making your eyelashes really elongated. Oh, it's so good. There's just a little bit of a kind of a bit at the top there, so just take that off. But it's such a nice mascara. It really kind of like holds that curl and gives you that fanned out look. I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom as well. Okay, and that is the mascara done. It's really nice. I love that mascara. It's actually not that expensive either, which is always a bonus. Next, I'm going to use some concealer. I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Dark Spots concealer and serum in the shade Light Cool 20. This is great if you want a hydrating under eye concealer. I'm just going to apply a tiny bit there. I usually apply it to the back of my hand first, but I am losing light very fast, so I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as possible. It's been so dull, but I really wanted to film something, so I just said I'd go for it. I always kind of tap in my concealer just to get rid of any excess so that I don't get creasing. I mean, it will crease, you know, in some areas, but if I do that, it kind of minimizes the creasing and just helps it to look a little bit more natural, I find, and not as heavy. So because I'm wearing kind of a cool toned eye look, I want to try and avoid the dark circles underneath my eyes. So I'm going to apply a touch of a full coverage concealer just where I get the most shadow. I'm using the Hourglass. It's the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer. And if you are looking for a full coverage concealer, I really rate this one. I think it's great. So I'm just going to blend that, try and like keep it in place and not blend it out too much. I already have color corrector on, but this is more just to just really help with that pigmentation there, because I do have quite purple under eyes, and it's like that is a lot of concealer, so I'm actually going to take some of that away, just patting it and kind of just putting it onto the back of my hand and just pat that on. And it just means that if you do have dark circles and you want to kind of help with that, I just find that that's a good way to kind of make it so you're not putting the full coverage concealer the whole way across your eye. I'm using that IT Cosmetics one. Is really nice and creamy and serumy, as the name suggests, and then just put the full coverage on just where you need it, because that way you're not going to be, it's not going to be like overdoing it, and it's going to be like these really stark under eyes, which can happen when you put too much full coverage concealer underneath your eyes. So now I'm going to do powder, because I'm going to use a powder, highlighter and blush. So I'm going to put powder, a light dusting across my face. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Pressed Powder in the translucent shade. I'm going to try and just put it where I need it. Anywhere that gets oily. And anywhere that I'm going to put the highlighter or blush. So very, very light dusting. I think I'm going to do the highlighter first so that it's not really obvious. I'm going to use this one from Lancôme, and it's the Louvre palette that they did last year. I'm going to use this highlighter, and I'm just going to kind of bring this around in that C shape and just tapping that off, because it is quite a shiny highlighter and I don't want it to be too much. I'm applying this first and then my blush on top, so that the blush kind of diffuses some of the highlighter if I do overdo it, which I have been known to do. And I'm going to just apply touch in my little spot that I like to do in here. The blush is from the brand Too Cool for School, and it's their Artclass by Rodin blush, and this is like a trio. So it comes in a few shades, and this is the shade de Mauve. I'm going to begin with these two, kind of mixing them together and going across the majority of my cheek, and then I'm going to do the darker shade kind of in the center. I'm going to just start here. I'm going to bring it up so it is kind of joining the sides of my eye, purely because I think that that will be nice with the tones that are on my eye, because I have that kind of soft lavender shade, and that is similar to this Too Cool for School blush. I actually used Too Cool for School years ago. I used some of their skincare and it was really nice, but I'd never tried their makeup, so I was excited to try this, and it's a really nice mauve powder blush, which I don't actually have a lot of. So it's kind of, yeah, pinky purpley shade, and just bringing it kind of like that. And then I'm going to take some of the purple, the darkest shade in the palette. I'm going to take some of that one and pop that kind of in the middle, I guess. So that this is actually, it's a really smooth formula. It's quite blurring. But I'm just going to put that purple kind of in the center. A little bit across my nose, and just kind of blend everything all together. But I really like the purple with the kind of taupe blue eyes. I just think it's a nice color combination. I'm going to just put a little bit of setting spray on, so it's not, just because I do have a lot of powder, so I want to just kind of take away the powdery look. And I'm going to then use some of my Sweed Satin Kohl liner in the shade Bright. It's like a kind of a pinky, slightly pink shade that goes in your waterline. I mean, you can use it anywhere, but the idea is that it goes in your waterline to brighten it up. And I'm going to just use a really small amount of this. I don't want it to be very obvious. So it just kind of brightens my waterline a little bit. And I'm going to then do my Edgeostyle pen from Lily by Red, a taupe coloured pencil on that end, and then this is a concealer colour. So I like to kind of like see where the shadow is by kind of smiling a little bit, or fake smiling, and then kind of just do it there. And it just enhances that shadow. It gives your eyes a little bit of shape. So same here. Kind of just lift up your eyes, see where that shadow is naturally. and just pop that on. It's very, very subtle. They do have more shades of this, but I think I got the cool tone shade. But it is quite subtle. You can, like I said in my last video, you can use whatever you want. You could use like a brow pen and blend it out, or an eyeshadow or whatever, but I just like how small that is. And then I'm going to put the concealer there, so that kind of like brightens that part. And it just gives your eyes this really cute, nice shape, which I really like. I'm just going to add a few of my freckles back in because the It Cosmetics foundation is full coverage, so I just want to like add a couple of freckles back in. I'm just going to use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen and see if I can do just so I'm kind of, you can still see my freckles, but I just want them to be a little bit more pronounced, and then kind of like pat over the top of them. I'm just going to use a hydrating spray. This is the Urban Decay Quick Fix, just to go on top of that powder. Because my eyes are the star of the show, I'm going to just do very nice subtle lips. And the first time I did this I used a Romand one, but it was a little bit too pale and insipid, so I said I would use some of the Lisa Eldridge Balm Embrace. I'm going to use 2 shades. Lisa Eldridge Sculpt and Shade Pencil in the shade 1C. It's kind of a little bit deeper than my natural lip colour. I'm going to blend that out with the Spectrum K. Jane Hughes 21. So it blends out more into the lips. I use Sweet Fig all over. So that's Sweet Fig on its own. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Epanouie on the center, just to add a little bit of that pinkiness in, because Sweet Fig is a little bit more neutral. So I just want a tiny touch of pink in the center. And I think that's kind of like the perfect lip colour to do with this look, because it's just very simple, very easy, and yeah, my hair is a bit all over the place. So that is the finished look. Give you a little tour. And I really like it. I just think it's like such a nice look, and it was so easy. Like, it looks more complicated, I suppose, than it was. It's just essentially like 3 eyeshadows, but you could have just done it with 2. I could have just used the Prada one, the mink one, and then this on top, but I kind of wanted to make it into more of a look. And then the tiny little bit of eyeliner on the outer corner, and a little kind of a geosal under my eyes as well. So it's very, very simple. I probably would normally do a cream blush and like a liquid highlighter mixed and put that on. I just kind of wanted to try out that blush because I hadn't really tried it out much, but I really like that. That's very like subtle. Again, it's not going to work on skin tones deeper than mine, but I just think it's a really nice shade for very, very pale skin if you like a cool toned blush. I think that's kind of it for things that are new, but what do you reckon? Did I do it? Does it look? The blushing lizard is coming across a little bit kind of more green, but I think I got quite close. As close as I'm probably ever going to get, and I just thought it was thought it was really nice. Like I said, this is the third time I've done it this week. If I wanted to make it a little bit more intense, I could do some of the grey pencil on my lower waterline and kind of smoke that out and maybe put some shadow on my lower lash line. But I just like how this is kind of a little bit more fresh and kind of daytime, I suppose. I mean, if you're somebody who likes to wear glitter during the daytime, which I am, I'll wear glitter any time of any day. But yeah, I mean, Blushing Lizard has my heart. Blushing Lizard is one of those shades that I just think, it just makes me happy. It's a dopamine sparkly eyeshadow, and it's sheer enough that it goes over anything, and it just changes it. I reckon I'm probably gonna have to buy another one of those because I use it so much that I've hit pan on it, and it's just one of those like most used products. I'm going to be doing a favourites of 2024 video, and Blushing Lizard is definitely going to be in there because it's so well loved, and it's just one of those products that makes me happy, but I also use it a lot as well. I'm excited to make a list of all my favourites and film that video. It's going to be fun. I mean, there's still 2 months left of the year, so well, less than 2 months, but there's still 2 months left of the year. Yeah, hopefully this is going to be a quick enough video, but thank you for watching, and please do subscribe if you're not already, and like the video, and leave me a little comment telling me what you thought of the look and what products you're loving at the moment. I would love to know. And yeah, it was fun to just try out a look and challenge myself to do something using the makeup that I have. It was really fun. It's the kind of thing that I love to do, is to just sit down and have an idea in my head and try and execute it with the makeup that I have, and not want to buy anything else to achieve that look. So I think I did it. I hope I did it. And yeah, let me know if you would wear this eyeshadow look, and if you've tried any of these products, I'd love to know as well. So thank you for watching or listening, and I will see you next week with another video. Goodbye.